Well, hi everyone. I'm coming to you from inside the church because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the plan for the reopening of the parish or the church. Now, the Archdiocese of Chicago has set up a plan to help guide us in this process. The plan has two phases. In phase one, a parish will be able to open just for four types of events: for baptisms, weddings, funerals, and the sacrament of reconciliation. It would be limited to 10 people at any one of those celebrations. The main reason for this is so that we would have a chance to make sure that we have in place all of the things we need and the processes in place to make sure that we can do this safely, reduce the possibilities of transmitting the virus to one another, even accidentally. Phase two would then allow us to once again offer public masses. Although I have to say that they are definitely not going to look like what things looked like when we locked up, when we were shut down. At least not for a while. Because again, we have to take the steps to try and be as safe as possible for everyone who wants to participate. So you might ask, well, what do we need to do to enter phase one and phase two? And this is part of the reason that I'm making this video, because we need your help. In order for us to enter those phases, we have to form 3 teams to help us with the services. The first team you might call greeters. Kind of like the ushers would do. They would be outside, they would be at the door, welcoming people, making sure that they are on the list of those to be attending that particular celebration, making sure that, they have hand sanitizer, that they're feeling good, that they have a proper mask, the things that are necessary for us to be able to carry on our services safely. Inside, they would help guide people to the proper pews and the movement that's necessary as part of any of the celebrations. For example, we have a funeral mass. We would need, for people to be able to come up for communion, they would need the guidance to be able to stay properly socially distanced. That would be the greeting team. The second team we would call setup. A setup team would make sure that before we opened for that service, everything that we needed was in place, right? So they had the hand sanitizer, the things that we needed to perform the service. Everything was properly marked. Basically, all of the supplies necessary for us to do this well. The third group we would call the disinfecting team. So once the celebration is finished and people would leave, we would also need to make sure that the parts that were used were also disinfected. So what I'm asking is, if you would be willing to serve on one of these 3 teams, greeters, setup, or disinfecting, if you would give me a call at the rectory. So it's 773-588-6484. I'm extension 5106. Or better, if you would email me. Again, you can find my email address in the bulletin. It's S for Steve, K-A-N-O-N-I-K, my last name. So scanonic at stbenedict.com. stbenedict.com. Tell me that you're interested and that you'd like to participate in one of the teams, or perhaps you have questions that you'd like to have answered first. Please give me a call, and I'd be happy then to try and answer what I can for you. Now, one question you might ask right away is, well, are there any restrictions as to who can be on the team? Well, yes. So the preference is that people who are on the teams would be at a lower risk of catching the virus. So the preference is that you'd be under 65 years of age and that you not have those co-issues, health issues that would make you more susceptible. For example, like diabetes or like if you're going through cancer treatments. Now that being said, if you are 65 years old or older and you do want to serve and you realize that you are going to be taking a greater risk, I would need to have you call me to talk to me first, because we would have to talk about that before I could invite you to be a part of that team. But that's where we stand at this point. This is what we would need, the help we would need in order for us to begin to move forward. So if you would be willing to be a part of that team, one of those teams, then I'd invite you, like I said, give me a call or email me. That way I'll be able to email you a link for the training video from the Archdiocese. And after we've all gone through those training videos, we'll be able then to gather to know what we need to do specifically here to handle each of those parts. Pretty soon, I hope, we'll be able to begin once again to gather together, at least to some degree, as community for the celebration of the sacraments, which are so important. Thanks again so much, and I tend to continue to make some videos like this so that I can keep you informed about where we're at, what's happening, and most especially when we're absolutely ready to begin the process of welcoming people here. Thank you so much.